I destroyed my neighbor's brand new SUV legally with one tap. The notification on my phone screen was a simple red banner, but it felt like a declaration of war. Motion detected, driveway camera. I was sitting in my office at 8:42 a.m. on a Tuesday, coffee in hand, when the alert popped up. I didn't need to look at the live feed to know what it was. I could feel it in my bones. It was Greg. It was always Greg. I tapped the screen. The video loaded, buffering for a second before snapping into crystal clear 4K resolution. There it was. A massive, gleaming white Cadillac Escalade, so knew it still had the paper dealer tags taped to the rear window. It was swinging wide into my driveway, the heavy tires crunching over the edge of my decorative pavers with a casual, practiced arrogance. This wasn't an accident. This was a routine. For 2 years, Greg, the neighbor directly across the street, had treated my driveway like his personal turnaround pad. He lived on a corner lot, but instead of backing out of his own driveway like a normal human being, he preferred to pull straight across the street, drive fully onto my property, and then reverse out to head toward the main road. It saved him maybe 5 seconds, but those 5 seconds were costing me thousands. I watched on the screen as the heavy SUV rolled deeper into my territory. He didn't just dip the nose in. He pulled all the way up, blocking my garage door, his tires grinding the sealant I had just reapplied last summer. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, suffocating sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. My vision went a little blurry at the edges. It wasn't just annoyance anymore. It was a cold, calculating rage born of 24 months of disrespect. I flashed back to last week. I was outside inspecting the cracked concrete near the street. Damage a contractor told me was caused by repeated stress from heavy vehicles turning sharply. Greg had walked out to get his mail. "Hey, Greg," I had called out, pointing to the spiderweb fractures. "Can you please stop using my driveway to turn around? It's cracking the pavement." Greg had laughed. A dismissive, airy chuckle that made my teeth ache. He waved a hand at me. "It's just concrete, Lucas. Relax. It's meant to be driven on. Besides, it's easier for me. It's not a public road," I said, my voice tight. "And your son drove over my sprinkler head last Tuesday. It flooded the lawn." "Maybe don't build so close to the street," Greg sneered, turning his back on me. "Buy better sprinklers." That was the moment. That was the snap. He refused to pay. He refused to stop. He thought because he drove a luxury car and lived in a big house on the corner, the rules of physics and property law didn't apply to him. He was wrong. I looked back at the phone screen. The Escalade was now fully in my driveway. Greg was shifting gears. I could see the reverse lights flare white. I opened a second app on my phone. SmartGuard Home Control. My thumb hovered over a large, red button labeled Bollard Deploy. Yesterday, I had spent $3,000 installing a set of heavy-duty, hydraulic steel security bollards. They were buried flush with the asphalt, invisible when retracted. They were rated to stop a truck moving at 30 miles per hour. I placed a warning sign at eye level on the fence post right next to the driveway entrance. Private property. No turnaround. Automated barriers in use. Greg had driven right past it. He hadn't even looked. The Escalade started to roll backward. He was moving fast, aggressive, like he always did. "Relax," I whispered, echoing his words. "It's just steel." I pressed the button. What happens in the next 3 seconds isn't just a car accident. It is the physical manifestation of karma arriving at high velocity. Greg thinks he is in control. He thinks the world yields to him because he drives a tank. He has absolutely no idea that the ground beneath his tires is about to change shape. The sound of metal meeting metal is going to be the loudest noise this neighborhood has heard in years. But the real twist isn't the crash. It's the legal nightmare waiting for him in the glove box of that destroyed SUV. By the time the police officer finishes writing the report, Greg won't just be looking for a body shop. He's going to be looking for a lawyer who specializes in defending the indefensible. To watch full story, kindly follow on screen instructions.